So we say we can get width of the rectangle. Then we get a screen width. Alright, this screen width settings. But to make it easy and to understand, I'm going to remove get width and put rectangle equals and name my instance as rectangle, just like the same way that I keep doing this. Because I can always get default screen device at the end and get default configuration at the end, and the whole thing can be rectangle. Let's just make it simplified first, right? Step by step. Then we know that after we get rectangle, we import rectangle, and we're going to write, instead of using inX, I'm going to just change to screen width, and get width returns double, and do the same to get the screen height, right? And do get height. Now we get the screen width and height. Now if I set location to screen width and height, what happens? If I run this program, one thing is once int. See, things like that you may see on your test, and you should know right away that's an error. Because set location required int, not double, right? This is logic errors. How to fix this? You can casting this. Casting, just put in parentheses and the type that you want to change. Casting mean, in Java we call casting, meaning convert from double to integers. Right now it fixed the problem. But let's try to run this. Whoop. Where's the dialog? Where? Let me see if I can try to grab it. It should be right at that bottom right corner. The problem is it's exactly at the corner. Let me subtract this number a little bit to see if I can actually get. There you go, 100 and 100. It started to come back, right? Because it's show at exact location, meaning that if I can subtract to the dialog.get width, then I should be able to make it at the corner, bottom right, right? Bottom right corner, and dialog.get, because dialog has its own width and height. Voila! We snap it at the bottom right corner whenever you display the dialog. Now you can move into any corner of the windows, right? Depending on this. Like if I want to go to the top, but this could be, you have to say that location, and this should be 0, right? The height. Right there, top right corner, right? Top left corner is 0 and 0, right? Okay, now I want to move into bottom left. That means, again, this is screen 0 and screen height. Subtract dialog dot get height. So it's always get. Okay, always we have to use get. This whole thing has to cast to int, right? There you go. May see a little bit of gap because it happened to be round up to an integers. Because it's double, the actual value is double, so that's maybe a little bit like very small pixels, right? Because the location required integers. Okay. Now, for your class exercise, you have to do at the bottom right corner, right there, right? So we are seeing how to do this with graphics environment, graphic device, graphic configuration, rectangle. Review again. So we need to get the configuration of width and height of the display settings from the control panel, right? So that is depending on, in Java, we said we need to get a graphic environment first by using the method get local graphic environment. We can access to this because this method is static. That means you don't need to instantiate like with a new keyword of graphic environments equals to new graphic environments, right? New graphic environments, right? Then you can just say graphic environments dot get local graphic environments returns the local configuration settings. Not yet, just the local. We still want to get a default screen. There's so many screens. It could be monitors 1, monitors 2. Then we just say whatever the default one, get the screen device. Then we get the monitors, which is we call graphic device. Why we don't call monitor? Because graphic device could be a printer. There's an output. Output can be monitors. Output can be printer. We can get default printer too. You can control something to your hardware too. Now, but this one we control the monitors, right? We try to get configuration next. Get default configuration because could be many devices. Just the default one. Then we get graphic configuration. Then we want to get a rectangle of width and height. This screen looks like a rectangle. Then get bounds. Okay, return rectangle. Now rectangle has get width. Then that is actually screen width. And get height, that's the screen height from control panel, display settings, screen resolutions right there. Afterward, we can pretty much just control the location of our dialog to pop up to anywhere on the screen, right? So, but this one happened to be an integers values, but this one happened to be a double. Then we have to cast this. Casting means changing the double to integers type. So the first argument is for the screen width, and then you subtract out the width of the dialog, right? Get width of the dialog, which I named D, right? D dialog. That's why I say when we name variables, we don't want to do A, B, C, D because it's hard to understand. You should spell it out. I prefer to spell it out to make your program easier to read for the audience, right? You may read many books. You don't want audience that's writing something too abbreviated for themselves to understand, and assuming all users or the readers, audience understand that. No, we're not, right? So just spell it out. And that is a good like technical writing skills to spell out, don't abbreviate it, right?